All right. Geometry, test review 1 through 10, part 2, take 1. Let's see the first one. You can have it, I guess. Question number 4, use inductive reasoning to determine the next term in the series. There's a lot of different ways that you could look at something like this. For instance, from 8 to 12 goes up 4, then it goes down 1, then it goes up 4, and then it goes down 1, up 4, down 1. So what's the next thing in the pattern to do? Go up 4, which would be 21. Right? So long as it fits the pattern, it doesn't really matter, right, how you get there, just so long as you're following a pattern and it works every time. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. All right, next one up on the list is 16. Oh, wait, 16 was done by the other video, wasn't it? Okay, sorry about that. Let's see, number 7 then. Number 7. Okay. Number 7, find the area of a right triangle with a hypotenuse of 11 and a leg of 4. Isn't this a lot like the question that we just did from our homework? Okay, so we should kind of already know what to do here, right? We're going to draw a right triangle. What am I going to put on the bottom? Okay, 4. Okay, what am I going to put here to the left? H, sure. All right, and, okay, good. So, 11. So that's a big deal, all right? It's no small thing. You do have to know where to put the 11. You have to know what the hypotenuse is and where it's located. All right, next step is what? 4 squared. All right, and hopefully a little bit smaller numbers, things that might not be so hard to work with. We've got 16 plus h squared equals what, 121? What's 121 minus 16? Equals 105. Okay, we'll square root both sides. Okay, so this is the square root of 105. All right, in all honesty, it might be better just to leave it as the square root of 105 for now, if that makes any sense to you. All right, because we're going to take 4 times the square root of 105 and divide it by 2. Well, if I just plug it in my calculator just like that, I'm going to wind up with a more exact answer. Okay, so just kind of show you what I'm talking about. Because really, 4 times the square root of 105 is 4 square root of 105. Okay, and I can hit enter. You see how it's going to be an irrational number, and I can divide by 2, and that way I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm rounding correctly. Okay, I should get, and what did it say? What did it wanted this rounded to? To the nearest hundredth of a square centimeter. All right, so this is going to get me there a lot better. So it should give me 20.49. What was the answer in the answer key? Anybody want to scroll on down? 20.49. Okay. So are we good with that? We've seen that a couple of times today at least. So should be experienced there. Okay. Let's see, after that, that was 7. So we need what, number 20? Okay, let's come on down to number 20. Determine whether the statement below is true or false. If false, explain your answer. If a shape is a quadrilateral, then it is a parallelogram. Is that true? Yes or no? No. No. Okay. You're correct. It is false. Okay. False. Now, other than because black bears are best, and bears beats Battlestar Galactica, why might this statement be false? Can you come up with a counterexample? No quadrilaterals are parallelograms, exact statement. False? Not all. Okay, good. All right, but give me a counterexample. Trapezoid. Okay? Okay, false. Trapezoids are parallelograms, because it's a long word to write, so just draw 2 parallel lines, ograms. All right, trapezoids are not parallelograms, they are quadrilaterals, right? Okay. Trapezoids are quadrilaterals, but not parallelograms. Another one would be a kite. Okay, a kite is an actual geometric shape. That usually throws people. So trapezoids and kites are examples. All right, that was number 20. Let's say after that, back on up to number 5. Use inductive reasoning to find the next term in the series. It goes 2, 6, 14, 30, 62, 126, 254. What do we think? Anybody know what the pattern is here? The pattern, there's multiple ways you could look at it. Notice from 2 to 6 it goes to 4, right? From 6 to 14 is 8, right? So it doubled the difference, right? The difference is doubling. Another thing that you could say is you take the previous number, multiply it by 2, and then add 2. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 14 times 2 is 28, plus 2 is 30. All right, so what we would do here, what would we do with 254? So I don't have to do this all the way through. Okay, take 254, multiply it by 2, right? We got 8, we got 10, we got 508. So what's my number going to be? 510, because we're going to add 2 to that, right? So on those, it's really a matter of finding the pattern and then using that pattern and find the next number. Okay, and you guys have picked at least 2 of those, so I'm hoping that by addressing this, you guys will be in better shape tomorrow. All right, that was number 5. We need what? 18. 18. 18. Determine if this conditional statement is true. If an angle is acute, then its measure is 45 degrees. Is that true? No, or at least not necessarily. So, false. Okay. Any degree less than what? Okay. Is acute. Okay. So we could be anywhere in there. All right, that's 18. Let's get 19 while it's right here. Determine if this conditional statement is true. If Jane lives in the United States, then she lives in Arizona. Is that true? No. Literally any other of the 49 states are possible, right? Okay. All right, so do we see a pattern with some of these conditional statements? At least we can find some not necessarily trues. All right, let's go back up to 1 and 2. How many non-coplanar planes define space? 3, okay, it's 3. And 2, point B lies on line AC between A and C. AB is 3.6. AC is that whole thing, right? AC, A to C, AB is 3.6. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3.6 and subtract it from 8.3 to get the remaining portion that would get me from B to C. All right, 4.7, I am being told. Okay. All right, so that's the questions that we put up there. Is there anything that hasn't been covered up to this point that you want to see before I hit stop on the video and I let you guys and I set up our Quizlet game? Anything? Nothing? All right, we'll hit stop here then.